Evening. How's everyone? Or good afternoon. 2 ticks to get down. Just get myself organized. There we go. All good. Afternoon, evening, everybody on YouTube, Facebook Live, and our very own website. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in this special quizzy evening. You're welcome back if... Hey, Roddy, welcome back if you've tuned in before, and if you haven't tuned in before, an even bigger welcome back. A rather special quiz. Hopefully you can see me and hear me. So what have we got in store for you this evening? Well, as I said, it's a rather special event. This evening's quiz, we're going to do some winter quizzes, has been motivated by NICPA, the Northern Ireland Kidney Patients Association, and our very own special local hero, Stephen. So, I was and have been continually, hey Billy and Connor, hey Roddy, completely blown away by Stephen's generosity and selflessness. He gave one of his healthy kidneys so that somebody else could have a better life. So there you go. Nothing else needs to be said other than total respect, Stephen. So this evening's quiz is in honour of this wonderful association, and we want to create awareness about the Northern Ireland Kidney Patients Association. And as well as that, you can donate if you wish, all voluntary via the website. So on the website, vincentskitchenquiz.com, where the best seats in the house are always available, go to the top right hand corner of the website and there's 3 bars. Hey Maurice, and you can donate voluntarily to Vincent's Kitchen Quiz using the 3 bars, and all the donations via Stephen will be going to this wonderful cause, creating awareness around the importance of kidney donations and all that entails. So wonderful. Respect, Stephen. So anyway, if you've tuned in before, hey Glenravel Gurriers, if you've tuned in before, you kind of know the rules, just in case you haven't, or it's been donkeys, as they say, since you've tuned in. The rules are dead simple. No Googling, but then sure you know that. And no answers on the feed. So if you get all excited and you think you know the answer, well, just jot it down between your teammates, and then at the end of each round, we'll self-mark, self-score in this most honest of honest quizzes, and we'll see how well you're doing, if you're interested or competitive. And I know some of you are. So you're very welcome. Sit back, enjoy. We've got 4 rounds. If it's not broken, don't fix it. 4 rounds, 4 by 12, your off-road quiz. So we've got some pictures, some connections, tricky connections, and lots of famous this and that. So go donate via our website. And Stephen, hope you're doing well. Okay, round 1. 4 compartments of 3 questions, and then we'll, after round 1, we'll do round 2. But let's deal with round 1. So no better place to start than some famous Stephens. Yeah, some famous Stephens. Famous Stephen number 1. Hey Cahies and the doll. Famous Stephen number 1. I'll ease you in nice and gently if that's okay. Famous Stephen number 1. Co-founder, chairman and CEO of Apple. Is your famous Stephen number 1. Co-founder, chairman and CEO of Apple. Hey Vanessa, Emma, Phil, Houston, no problem. Good to have all those lockdown names coming back through the airwaves. Famous Stephen, number 2. Famous Stephen, number 2, is an English theoretical physicist and cosmologist. Your clues: a brief history of time and the theory of everything is your famous Stephen, number 2. No more famous than our own Stephen, but this English theoretical physicist and cosmologist. A brief history of time and the theory of everything. Famous Stephen, number 2. Martin on Facebook. I thought you were in Dublin. Maybe you are. People can tune in from everywhere. Famous Stephen, number 3. Wild, ending in an E. Blackadder and QI. Difficult for Bill and Noreen in Connecticut, but wild, as in Oscar, Blackadder and QI. Famous Stephen, number 3. All coming back to you guys. Easing back into the quiz saddle. There's your first bunch of 3. And don't worry, at the end of each round we'll do a recap. What's more, we'll put it up in writing if you can't understand a word I'm saying. Second bunch of 3, famous cinematic baddies. So you get the cinematic baddie. No, you give me the cinematic baddie. The clue is the movie. You got it? Sorry, I'm not much of a hand here. The Silence of the Lambs. Famous cinematic baddie, number 1. The Silence of the Lambs. The main baddie, by the way. The Silence of the Lambs. Your cinematic baddie, number 1. Famous cinematic baddie, number 2. Movie, Psycho. Psycho. We're looking for the baddie. Hey, Isabel in San Diego. Good afternoon to you, Isabel. Cinematic baddie, number 3. 3 even, Die Hard. Die Hard. Your cinematic baddie, number 3. The movie, Die Hard. Hey, Andrea and Lisa on the website. Hey, Stephen on Facebook Live. On all channels. Apart from Sky. So there's your first 6. Doing okay. Silence of the Lambs, Psycho and Die Hard. Your baddies. Next bunch of 3. Famous Wizards of Oz. As in Down Under, Australia. Famous Wizard of Oz, number 1. A golfer. He was the first person in tour history to surpass $10 million in career earnings. With 20 PGA Tour wins in the 80s and 90s, he was second only behind Tom Watson in that era. Your famous Wizard of Oz, number 1. A golfer. The first person in tour history to surpass $10 million in tour earnings. 80s and 90s. Hey, Chill Divines, it is a wonderful cause. You're dead right. Hey, Bargain Mad. Glenravel Couriers. Wonderful. Famous Wizard of Oz 2. A media proprietor. Through his company, News Corp, he is the owner of 100s of local, national and international publishing outlets. A media proprietor, famous Wizard of Oz number 2, his company, News Corp. He is the owner of 100 plus local, national and international publishing outlets. Famous Wizard of Oz 2. News Corp, media proprietor. Okay, going too fast? Pace okay. Famous Wizard of Oz, number 3. The only Australian to win 2 acting Oscars, including, your big clue, the movie The Aviator, born May 1969. Born May 1969, the only Australian to win 2 acting Oscars. Big clue, The Aviator. Who's that? Famous Wizard of Oz, number 3. Okie dokie. How's your Saturday? And your final bunch of 3 in round 1. Famous prizes. So you get some clues and you have to give me the prize. That's your prize. Famous prize number 1. First presented in 1901, prizes are awarded annually in chemistry, physics, literature, medicine, economics and peace. This annual prize, famous prize number 1, chemistry, physics, literature, medicine, economics and peace. Famous prize number 1. Famous prize number 2. This is America's premier prize in journalism, literature and musical composition. Is your famous prize number 2. America's premier prize in journalism, literature and musical composition. Famous prize 2. Hey Colin, hey Keeling, hey Tracy on Facebook Live. I can multitask. And your final famous prize. This prize, annual, is presented by the Recording Academy to recognise outstanding achievement in the music industry. An American prize presented by the Recording Academy to recognise outstanding achievement in the music industry. This annual American prize. Outstanding achievement in the music industry. Tricky, Dave D. So let's recap on your first round. So here we go. So there's your first round, your famous Stevens, your famous cinematic baddies, your famous Wizards of Oz, and your famous prizes. 12 points up for grabs. No answers on the feed. Self-mark. Debate internally. I'll give you a few moments. So, creating awareness for the Northern Ireland Kidney Patients Association and donations via the website. No pressure, all voluntary. Okie dokie, so how do you think you got on? Well, I guess there's only one way to find out. Here's your answers to round one. Good luck, written for you. So your famous Stevens. Famous Steve, number one, Steve Jobs. Did you get Stephen Hawking and Stephen Fry of Wild, Blackadder and QI? Hannibal Lecter, Norman Bates, and did you remember Hans Gruber from Die Hard? Your Wizards of Oz, did you get the golfer Greg Norman, Rupert Murdoch, and well done if anybody got the only Australian to win 2 acting Oscars, Kate Blanchett. And your Nobel Prize, well done if you got the Pulitzer and your Grammy Awards. So, out of 12, Tiernan, no pressure. How did you get on? Well, comfortably dumb. Got 12. Douglas's Clan, well done, Kevin, Heather, etc. on 12. Jackie, Each Meets West, 11. Bill and Noreen, 11 out of 12. I bet it was Stephen Fry. Maybe not. Hey, Maurice on 12. Cahiz and the Doll on 12. Finn's Fools on 11. Keep posting those scores. Let's get quizzical. 12. Glenravel Gurriers quickly out of the blocks on 12. Vanessa, Emma, Phil. Stephen not there on 10. The Hallions on 11. Kaiser's Crew on 11. William and Texas Ted up in Derry with Tattoo on 11. Billy and Connor in the Cave on 11. Michelle, is that Michelle? Or Michaela on 10. The Chill Divines, chilling nicely on 11. Roddy, always a slow starter but gets better as the quiz goes on 9. Kiefer, hey Kiefer, the Aboyle House on 11 on YouTube. Andrea and Lisa, 9 out of 12. In Birmingham, Dave, D and Jen in London, a truly international quiz this evening. Mac, Jax, Billy and Una on 11. Ronan, Team Tullochen on 11. Great start, guys. Good quizzing. Good quizzing. So round 2, we're getting into it now. All that pre-season training was worthwhile. Round 2 is a full course of connections. For those of you who haven't played connections before, good luck. So how does this work? Well, you get 3 bits of random information. You join the dots and you figure out what connects. Patent pending or connections round. Only one way to find out. Let's get stuck in, shall we? Connection number 1. What connects? Jot these down. What connects? A New York borough, Bill and Noreen, a Woody Allen movie, and a World War II project that produced the first nuclear weapon. Wow. What connects a New York borough with a Woody Allen movie and a World War II project that produced the first nuclear weapons? Is your what connects number 1. Tiernan dot drizzle 7. Oh, and the Boyle House is not to be trusted. Some internal... No, I won't go there. So what connects your New York borough with a Woody Allen movie and a World War II project that produced the first nuclear weapons? What connects number 2? What connects Queen, as in the band, Top Gear, And the UK's second female Prime Minister is your what connects? Number 2, Queen, as in the band, Top Gear, and the UK's second female Prime Minister. What connects? In case I missed a couple of teams. Barking at 11, Lionel Richie dancing on the ceiling on 11. I think I've got everybody. If I haven't, we'll catch up. Connection number 3. What connects? What connects the Kaiser Chiefs, Lee Harvey Oswald, and a jockey, the third most prolific winner in British and Irish jump racing history, is your connection number 3. A jockey, the third most prolific winner in British and Irish jump history, with Lee Harvey Oswald and the Kaiser Chiefs. Connection number 3. Yes, Bill and Noreen, it was Kate Blanchett. Is that a spelling typo on my side? Connection number 4. What connects? What connects a term describing genuine, true or pure, a currency, and an English footballer, soccer player, teams, Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea, in that order. Your connection number 4, an English footballer, Liverpool, Man City and Chelsea, with a currency and a term describing genuine, true or pure. Connection 4. Dermot Walls in India. Wow. Wow. Good morning, India. Kiefer, can we get a big shout out for Brona and David in Lurgan? And you're not allowed to Google Brona and David. That's on YouTube. Oh, you meant that you got Stephen Fry, but you missed Kate Blanchett. Gotcha. You got Stephen Fry. Understand. And thanks, Morris, for checking my spelling. Delhi Street, 12 out of 12. Anna, Nick, Jack, Shan, and Murphy. Some pre-quiz training. Back to connections. What connects? What connects a fictional detective with Tom Cruise / Dawson's Creek with the Easton Assassin, a WBC heavyweight champion from 78 until 83? Let me do that one again. So what connects a boxer, the Easton Assassin, WBC heavyweight champ, 78 to 83, with Tom Cruise / Dawson's Creek with a fictional detective? Is your connection 5? Still come to terms with somebody tuning in from India. Wow. San Diego to India. There's a few time zones. The power of Tinternet. So did you get your fictional detective, Tom Cruise, Dawson's Creek, and the Easton Assassin? Connection 6. What connects? An aromatic leaf of the laurel family, a horse colour, and a British male solo artist, Hold Back the River. So, what connects your British male solo artist with Hold Back the River, with a horse colour, with an aromatic leaf of the laurel family? Is your connection 6? Some super duper scoring. Tricky connections, I think. Then you're smart. Smarter than the average quizzer. Connection 7. What connects an American composer and songwriter? Example would be Kiss Me Kate. That's not me, by the way. That's the American composer and songwriter. With Tom Cruise's character in Days of Thunder, with a nursery rhyme king. So what connects a nursery rhyme king with Tom Cruise's character in Days of Thunder with your American composer and songwriter famous for Kiss Me Kate? Connection 7. Okie dokie. Connection 8. What connects? Good one. Tricky mind. What connects The Living Daylights and A License to Kill? So just park that. The Living Daylights and A License to Kill. With a chemist and physicist who introduced atomic theory into chemistry. Back to school, guys. With an Old West group of outlaws referred to by the Eagles. Flippin' heck. So, an Old West group of outlaws referred to by the Eagles, a chemist and physicist who introduced atomic theory into chemistry with the Living Daylights and A License to Kill. Connection 9. Dermot, from India. It's nearly 3 a.m. You didn't beat about the bush. You moved over there because there was more money. Like your style. Like your transparency, Dermot. 3 a.m., mind you. Connection 10. What connects? What connects a part of the eye with a flowering plant with the Goo Goo Dolls? What? Your connection, please. The Goo Goo Dolls, a flowering plant, and a part of the eye. Is your connection 10? And your penultimate connection, but one. What connects a short-haired breed of dog, a 1900 armed conflict in China, and a male undergarment based on shorts? So a male undergarment based on shorts, your 1900 conflict in China, and a short-haired breed of dog. Connection 11. Roddy, only 9. No, it's good. It's good. Dermot, tell Big Uncle Stephen we're all very proud of him here in India. We'll be saying a prayer at the Taj Mahal soon. There you go, Stephen. All the way from India. Which links nicely into 911 Delhi Street, a team tuning in here. Something connected there. Your final connection. What connects? A large body of salt water in northeastern Canada. With Penny Lane in the movie Almost Famous. With Gordon Jackson in Upstairs Downstairs. If you're old enough to remember Upstairs Downstairs, Gordon Jackson. Penny Lane in Almost Famous, with your large body of salt water in northeastern Canada is your final connection. Oh, have I missed one? Maybe I only did 11 connections. Flip me. I've made a huge counting error. There's only 11 connections. There you go. You see, I'm not infallible. Phew. Major embarrassment. I'll get over it. 11 connections. Let's recap. You can't take me anywhere. It's a first for everything. So there's only 11 connections. Drat. Who's the fool? Let's recap on your 11, not 12 connections. So here's a recap on your 11 connections. Make up a connection on the spot. Nah, Catherine, too much pressure. Too much pressure. Nah. There's 11 connections, but happy birthday to Izzy Desnuts from India. Okay, so how did you go on in your 11 connections? The 12th one, I'll reserve until our next quiz. So in fact, there's only 47 points for grabs tonight. Sorry, Stephen, I've let you down a bagful. I can be spontaneous, but nah, in this case, we'll just stick with the 11. In writing, take your time, figure out your connections, and then your cumulative will be not 24, but 23. Oh dear. Anya, your team had a good feeling about the 12th one. So did I until about 5 minutes ago. Okay, dokes. So how did you get on in your 11 connections? Well, let's find out. There you go. So professional. Your answers to your connections right. Good luck. So, your 11 connections. Manhattan, New York Borough, Woody Allen movie. I remember the line out of that movie where in the back of the cab, Woody Allen said, "You're so beautiful, I can hardly keep my eye on the meter." And your World War II project, Manhattan. Queen, Theresa Bryan James May. Ruby, as in Jack, as in Walsh, as in Ruby. Raheem Sterling, Sherlock Holmes, Larry Holmes, Katie Holmes, Bay, James, you've got that. Old King Cole, and Cole Trickle, Timothy, John, and the Dalton gang. So Dalton, Iris, Boxer, and Hudson. So out of 23, post your scores. You're well ahead of me. Barking Mad on 22. Douglas Clan, 23 out of 23. East Meets West on 22. Very good. Billy and Anna, Mac Jacks on 22. Maurice, 23, maxing out. Let's Get Quizzical, 33. You're doing really well, Gemma. 23 out of 23. 9/11, Delhi Street, Finn's Fools, 22. Kaiser's Crew, 22. Cahiz Nadal, 22. Gemma, no apology required, 23. How can I blame anybody after that? Glenravel Gurriers on 22. Lionel Richie, Still Dancing on the Ceiling on 22. Comfortably Done Paddy, 23. Dermot, Only One, sadly. Don't be sad. It's 3 a.m. for God's sake. Ronan, 11, gives you 22. Ted and William, Up in Derry, 20. The Frogs on 20. Doing good, guys. Round 3. Round 3. Round 3. We've got a picture round. Vanessa, Emma, Phil, Houston, no problem on 18. Kiefer, the Aboyle House on YouTube on 21. Tiernan, You're Raging About Iris, and so you should be. The Hallions on 21. Mike, is that Michaela on 20? McAllister and the Hallions on 21. Andrew and Lisa on 17. Andrea, good to have you all back. Round 3. We've got 12 images. 12 images. We've got some, well, we'll just go through them. We'll start with 3 car brands. 3 car brands. Image number 1. Car brand number 1. Good luck. Car brand 2. Identify this car brand. And car brand number 3. Identify this from this. After your 3 car brands, we've got 3 famous sports stadia. Is that plural? Stadiums or stadia. 3. Number 1. Where's this? Sporting stadia, stadium. Number 2, or image 5. Where's this? And final sports stadium, number 3. Where's this? Very appropriate. Next bunch of three. Three flags. Three countries. Flag number one. Where's this? Flag number two. Identify the country. Where's this? And flag number three. Country, please. Where's this? And your final three, because it's Stephen's night. Three famous Stephens when they were a tad younger. Famous Stephen, number one. And famous Stephen, who's this? When he was younger, number two. And final famous Stephen, a tad younger, tricky. Who's this? Okie dokie. Let's do a quick fly through your three car brands. One. Your three sporting venues. One. Two. Identify the countries from the flags. One. And your famous Stephens when they were a bit younger. Stephen number one. And finally, younger Stephen, three. Okie dokie. So if you want to tidy up your picture round, that will give us a running total of 35. Not 36, because I screwed up in the old missing connection. But sure, you'll never remind me of that one. Your answers to your pictures. Good luck. So your three cars were Maserati, Ferrari and Alfa Romeo, respectively. Your sporting locations: Aintree, Nou Camper, Camp Nou, the Aviva Stadium in Dublin, scene of a famous victory a few hours earlier, Brazil, Argentina and Denmark, and Steve Martin. He does have a capital M in his surname. Did you get Steve Martin? Did you get Stephen or Steve Carell? And did you get Steven Seagal? So, out of 37, post your team names and your running totals on the live feed. Hey, Kira, can I say hello to Ella? Ella. Hi, Ella. So, Glenravel Gurriers, 34 out of 35. Comfortably Dumb, maxing out 35 on YouTube. Kiefer, good round. O'Boyle House on 33. Douglas Clan on 34 out of 35. Jackie, East Meets West, 34. The Hallions, flipping Aintree. Said that first, then you change. Always go with your first answer. So the Hallions 11. Not sure what your running total. Cahiz Nadal on 33. Maurice 34. 32 out of 35. Lionel Richie. No answers on the feed. 32 in Lavi. Always go with your first answer. 28, Texas Ted and William up in Derry. Flagstaff Forgetters with 30. The scoring is from Roddy. You're getting better. 33, Kaiser's Crew on 32. Mac Jacks on 32. Vanessa, Emma, Phil, Houston No Problem on 28. Billy and Connor in the Cave on 30. Bark and Mad on 34. Finn's Fools on 32. Tiernan, 27. If there's a colouring in round, can I colouring in round? Now there's an idea. Great scoring, guys. I think it's really close at the top. I think there's a 34 with Douglas Clan. Coal Pits maxing out on 35. Glenravel Gurriers on 34. Cahiz on 33. Maurice on 34. Dermot in India, 17. Team name, the Indian Instigators. But it is 3 a.m. You're bound to be shattered. Sinead on 32. Finn's Fools on 32. Fantastic. Bargain Mad on 34. Tight at the top. Easily the most exciting quiz I've been at all week. Your final round. Thanks for tuning in. If you feel like donating to this wonderful cause, go to the website. Thank you. Final round, guys, and thank you for your generosity of time and donations. And of course, spirit. And of course, putting up with me only doing 11 connections. That's the biggest thank you. Final round. First set of 3. Famous French expressions that we use. So you get kind of the definition, but it's a French expression that we use. Definition number 1, French expression that we use: a road that is closed at one end. A road that is closed at one end is your famous French expression that we use, number 1. Colouring in, Tiernan. It'd be tricky, Andrea, to do online, but I'll give that some thought. In fact, I've thought about it. Famous expression that we use, number 2. A policy or attitude of letting things happen on their own without interfering. So it's a policy or an attitude of letting things happen on their own without interfering. You know the way you let me do 11 connections without interfering? That would be perhaps a good example. Famous French expression number 2. Letting things happen on their own without interference. Famous French expression number 3 that we use: an embarrassing remark or act in a social situation. So, an embarrassing remark or an act in a social situation. Famous French expression that we use, number 3. Particularly in the Tullochans, you would use this all the time. Everybody's going, where's the Tullochans? Apart from India. 4, 5 and 6 in your final round. Famous families. 3 famous families. Famous family number 1. David and Victoria, together with Brooklyn, Romeo, Cruz and Harper. Famous family number 1. David and Victoria, together with Brooklyn, Romeo, Cruz and Harper. Famous family number 1. Famous family number 2. John and his wife Jacqueline, younger brother Bobby. Famous family number 2. John and his wife Jacqueline, younger brother Bobby. And your final famous family: Alec, Daniel, Stephen and William from the Hollywood movies. Famous family number 3. Alec, Daniel, Stephen and William. Hollywood family number 3. The Hallions on 32, Sinead on 32 and Gemma on 32. Tight at the top. All to play for. Your penultimate bunch of 3. Famous biggests. Biggests. Famous biggest number 1. Simply the biggest country in the world in terms of area. Spatial area. Biggest country in the world. Famous biggest number 1 in terms of area. Famous biggest number 2. Animal on the planet. The biggest animal on the planet. Famous biggest number 2. And your final famous biggest. Famous biggest number 3. Biggest annual festival. Some clues. It first occurred in 1723. That won't help you. This annual festival, the biggest in the world, has over 2 million people per day on the streets. Famous biggest annual festival in the world. First occurred in 1723 and over 2 million people per day turn up on the streets. This famous biggest annual festival. Where? Famous biggest 3. Final bunch of 3. countries and their official languages. So you get 3 countries and you give me their official language respectively. You got it? Austria, official language, Austria. Official language, country number 2, Argentina. Argentina. Language, please. Well, I didn't mean, I mean famous language, Argentina. And finally, tricky, maybe, Andrea, San Marino. San Marino, official language, number 3. So your final round, let's recap, guys. Your famous French expressions that we use, your famous families, famous biggest, and we're looking for the official languages of those 3 countries respectively. So we have a maximum of 47 points because somebody messed up. So out of 47, you can let me know how you did. And thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in and supporting the awareness around this wonderful cause. And thank you, Stephen. Okay, your answers to your final round. So your 3 French expressions that we use, your cul-de-sac, your laissez-faire approach, and an embarrassing remark or act in a social situation would of course be a faux pas. The Beckham family, the Kennedy family, and did you get the Hollywood Baldwins, Alec, Daniel, Stephen and William? Russia, largest country, the Antarctic blue whale, and Rio, as in De Janeiro, the largest, biggest annual festival. German is your Austrian language, Spanish is your Argentinian language, and San Marino, that tiny country in the Italian peninsula, Italian is your language. So out of 47 points, you can share with us your team name and your scores, and we'll figure out who's tonight's successful winners, who takes away absolutely nothing other than a wonderful sense of achievement. McAllister on 44, superb scoring. East meets West, well done Jack in 45. Maurice, what a comeback on 46. Cahiz and the Doll 45. Finn's Fools on 43. The Hallions 41. Douglas Clan on 46. Lionel Richie on 43. The Mac Jacks on 44. Thanks Douglas Clan. Billy and Connor in the Cave on 40. Let's Get Quizzical on 44. Kiefer O'Boyle House finished on 44. Dermot out in India 27. Superb. Glenravel Gurriers 45. The Coal Pits comfortably dumb on 47 out of 47. Wonderful. Houston No Problem on 40. Stephen's back. Where have you been, Stephen, for God's sake, when they needed you? Anna 44 out of 47. Jack, Nick, Anna, Murphy, Shan. See you guys soon. Bargain Mad on 46. Kaiser's Crew on 43. Anya 36. Fantastic. Team Tullikins on 45. Sinead 47. Easy wins by Sinead. Anyway, it's the taken part. Great quizzing. Wonderful cause. Wonderful evening. Thank you for your patience and indeed your forgiveness around connections. Andrea, Lisa in Birmingham, and Dave D and Jen in London. 37 out of 47. It was tricky. Very tricky. Ferg Eilish team, 2 mines or lesser than one finished on 37. You'll take it. We'll all take it. Tonight is all about Stephen and this wonderful cause, because none of this matters. This is just a bit of fun and relaxation. Thank you guys for your time and your generosity, and I'll see you soon. I'll keep you posted about future quiz events, the Hallions. Oh, thank you. There'll be more quizzes in the dark evenings, apart from India. And stay tuned. And well done, Stephen. Fantastic. By the way, if you want to jump into a musical time capsule for an after party and some tunes, tune into the website. Website only, in about 10 or 15 minutes. Morris, good to have you back, because you're always away. Thanks, Bill and Noreen in Connecticut. Thank you all. So 10 or 15 minutes, around 10:15, tune into the website if you like your music or just want to relax and listen to some tunes and be transported. Everybody, adios. See you on the flippity flip. Bye-bye. God bless. Enjoy your weekend, what's left of it. And music aficionados, I'll see you in about 15 minutes.